Hey, welcome out to another Dice Tower review. My name is Chris Yee, and today I'm taking a look at Star Wars Unlimited Intro Battle Hoth, or if you look on BoardGameGeek.com, Star Wars, Unlimited, M-Intro Battle, Hoth. This is a long-named game, but this is the simplest introductory box to the Star Wars Unlimited system, a collectible card game typically, but this comes with 2 pre-constructed decks ready to go. So this is a game that I enjoy a lot. I've been playing it since it came out in 2024, but I'm going to be reviewing this as an introduction to the system. So let me go ahead and show you how it plays, then I'll give you my thoughts. Here's a quick look at what comes inside the box. There are 2 playable character decks pre-constructed, one for Princess Leia, one for Darth Vader, going head-to-head. You'll notice that there's a Do Not Shuffle card at the top, and that is because if you wish to play the tutorial, you can go to the Fantasy Flight Games website. They will walk you turn by turn the first few rounds of the game. However, these are also just player aids that you'll be able to have. You'll set out your leader over here on the space where it shows leader. You'll place your base out on the place that says base. If doing the first tutorial game, you'll have 20 health on the base. If playing a regular game, you'll play to 30. And the point of the game is to damage the opponent's base for 30 points of damage, take them out, and that's how you'll win. Normally, you'd shuffle up your deck of cards. However, with the prefab deck as is, you're just going to draw the first 6. You'll place the deck over here where it's labeled deck. You'll have a designated discard pile, space, and ground arena. At the setup of the game, you're going to choose 2 of the cards from your hand, and you're going to turn them into resources. Resources down here are cards that you will tap in order to pay the costs of paying for and activating other cards. One player will start with the initiative counter, and they will take turns first. The game is played 1 action at a time back and forth until both players have passed. So at the start of the game, the Darth Vader player might choose to pay 2 resources to put out these snowtroopers. They will come out sideways, exhausted, meaning that they are not ready to activate or use their ability. The Princess Leia player is going to pay 2 to put out the Echo Coordinator here by paying their 2 resources. Going back to Darth Vader, he can continue playing now. If he had resources to pay for things, if he had other actions that he could afford, he could do so. Instead, he's going to choose to grab the initiative and claim it as his own, so he'll go first next round, comes back to Princess Leia, she'll pass, and so we move on to the next round. At the start of each round, you're going to ready up all of your resources. Also, all of the cards that are played out to your ground or to your space area are going to be readied. You'll draw the top 2 cards from your deck, and then you can add a card to your resource pool. So Darth Vader will do the same thing over here. He has the initiative, and so he'll start playing. There's a few types of cards you can play from your hand. So for example, these units can either be played to ground or to space, depending on what they say, and they'll cost as many resources shown in the top left symbol here. They have a certain number of attack that they do, and a certain number of health that they can withstand damage. There's also action or event cards, which you play by paying the cost for, and you resolve what they say immediately. Look through the top 3 cards of your deck, and then take in cards that way, or deal a damage to each enemy unit with at least 1 damage on it. Now, when attacking with a unit, what you'll do is you'll choose a unit for your action that turn. So the Echo Coordinator here is going to do 1 damage and has 5 health. So if I wanted to, they could attack either directly to the enemy base by exhausting them to do 1 damage out here, or I could choose an opponent target. If I choose to attack another card, I will exhaust myself, I'll do 1 damage, however, they will do their attack right back to me, so I would actually suffer 2 if I did this. Certain cards, like the Ion Cannon over here, have a special action on them shown by the symbol, so when I rotate this card, it says deal 3 damage to an enemy space unit, so the Ion Cannon can actually shoot across over here, damaging over that way. One of the key words that you'll notice here is that Bright Hope here has Sentinel, which means that this person cannot attack other units or my enemy base until they take out this ship. So they would have to activate and do 2 damage to this ship here. However, I'll do 4 damage back to him, which is enough to take him out under his health limit, so this card will get destroyed and moved to the discard pile. Each player's leader also has an action that they can do while they are out here in the middle of the table. However, when you reach a certain number of resources that you have on your side that you are able to use, you can spend what's called the epic action. It's an action, but it'll bring this leader out as a playable character out onto their respective areas here, and they have their stats and act just as like a normal unit. However, if they get eliminated, they return over here, and you use this marker to show that they can no longer be displayed out as a unit. There are a few other noteworthy special effects on this card here, the Rebellion Y-Wing. When you choose to attack with it, it'll do its normal 2 damage. However, it has a special effect on attack. It will do 1 damage to the enemy base. So if there was a space unit out here that it did damage to, it would additionally do a damage to the base. If this was doing damage directly to the base, it would do its normal 2 plus the 1 extra afterwards. Over here, the Tauntaun has a when defeated effect. So when this one gets defeated by an enemy attack, you get to restore 2 damage from your base. Princess Leia has the ability to heal units on her side over here. And the Rogue Squadron Speeder has a raid of 1. This means that when it attacks, it gets a +1 on the attack. That's important because it'll do more damage when attacking. However, when something attacks it, it only does its normal 3 damage back to it. So you continue playing turn after turn until both players have passed. Whoever takes the initiative for the turn starts the next round. You play round after round until one player does 30 damage to the opponent base, and then they win the game. So for a little context, I've been playing Star Wars Unlimited for a while. It's one of the few collectible card games like this that I really enjoy. I like the basic turn format where you take one action, the other player takes an action. You keep going until you both pass. Whoever passes first takes that initiative marker. They get to start next round. That whole system of this game works, I think, really smoothly and really well. I love the theme. Admittedly, that's a huge reason why I even bothered giving this game a chance. There are multiple sets out there, and each set has some little twists and new mechanisms, new gimmicks or so that you might call it, that they employ. And this box here, Intro Battle Hoth, has none of those. It's not going to have battle droids that you can create and replicate easily. It's not going to have X-Wing and Y-Wing tokens. It's not going to have pilots that can be ground units or jump in and pilot a ship. It's going to be very vanilla. And I think that that's a strong thing for exactly how this game advertises itself. Introduction, an easy way to jump into the system, because I think that there are a lot of people who want to play a fun Star Wars game. And when there are complexities out there, it's sometimes hard to feel like, what's a good jumping in point? Oh, well, definitely, Spark of Rebellion. Oh, well, it's harder to find because that first set's, more out of print. Well, then maybe you should jump to light speed. Oh, but you have to kind of learn a few extra little gimmicks and stuff. You might need to, there's some specialty token cards you don't have enough of if you haven't collected this, that, or the other. All that's gone. This box is a standalone thing. It's not going to rely on knowing any of that other stuff, and I think that's a huge strength of it. Even sometimes these starter boxes that you can buy that give you 2 characters and 2 decks and stuff still have cards that reference some of that extra knowledge. So I think stripping that away and making a more simplified entry point is a strong thing for a game system like this, because I think it's a good game system. When you have a themed box like this is Battle of Hoth. This is Leia and the not Resistance, but the Rebellion troops, and you have Darth Vader and the Empire just going head to head. Great. I already know what's going on. I like seeing all the different things represented on the cards, playing it out there. The board looks good. It's very helpful. It's the tokens, the damage counters and the initiative marker and stuff are nicer in this cheaper box than they are in any of the other starter deck boxes that have come out already. So you're getting better stuff. It's at a lower price point. And that board has a little bit of cheap kind of feel to it. It's not like the precision cut folds. It's more of the paper on paper type of folding, and the board is a little squishy, a little kind of curved, a little warped, right? It's not super high quality, but it's better quality than getting like a paper mat that you unfold like some collectible card games give you. I think that this is a strong entry point. That tutorial system, I've done the whole tutorial video. It's a little long, right? But it's thorough. It explains the whole game system to you. If you are looking for an entry point, if you just want to dip your toes, and maybe that's the most you'll do, I think you still get a good game out of this box, quite a good game. You can play to that 20 health, destroy the base at 20 instead of 30. Because your first play of the game, you're going to be making choices. You're just kind of pulling levers, pushing buttons. What does this do? And you get that first game out of the way. You win or lose at 20 damage. Cool. Reshuffle. Now play the full game with the full rules that the rule book, also one of the better rule books, I think, for starting off gamers that you can get for this system. And then you play the full rules as explained in the back. Not a lot of differences, honestly, from the tutorial. You don't keep the cards in order, and you flip over your base from 20 to 30 health. That's pretty good. That's really well done. Other other collectible card games have things like this. Like the Pokemon has the Battle Academy boxes. And one of the strengths of those is that they come with 3 decks of cards. This one only comes with 2. So at most you'll do is you'll swap sides back and forth. However, I think that the interest and the intrigue of the cards themselves work pretty well in here. They're far more simple. There's plenty of cards that have no text, no bonus actions, no on attack or when played effects. And that's fine. There's enough that do have that. There's a few cards with Sentinel to protect your side of the line. There's a few that attack stronger if you're the one doing it. There's a few that say, ooh, when you play this out, you can do something cool with one of the other cards you have ready to go. And that's good because it gives you a nice flavor of what Star Wars Unlimited offers without having to bog you down in too much. I think it's really well done. So yes, it comes with fewer decks of cards and some of the other type of collectible card games that do this type of thing, but I don't think to its detriment. I think that the cards that come in there have enough interesting special abilities. So yeah, there's only 2 of them. You're going to have a fun time with it, and you're going to be able to have fun playing the same side, switching sides, whatever it may be. Knowing, though, full well that this is meant to be an introductory box. If you say, I don't know if this game has enough replayability in that box, this is a cheap entry point. It's cheaper than the other entry points to this game, and I think it's stronger of an entry point. Know full well that if you end up really liking this, you might spend, another chunk of money to go buy a few extra decks of cards. That's the model. You don't have to go full bore into buying everything, and I would really recommend you don't, because I think I've bought a few booster packs, made some decks of cards, and I think that's great. But I also mostly just play with pre-constructed decks like this, and I think that these ones are fun. Underpowered compared to what else there is out there. These are not the decks that if you want to dive into the pool deeper that you're going to keep necessarily, but this is really good testing ground because it's pretty affordable, and what you get out of it, I think the value's there. So overall, in my estimation, I'm giving this one an 8.5. I think that this is an excellent game for exactly what it is. I like the fact that it comes in a box. I can put this on my board game shelf and it fits in. You don't have to come up with weird storage solutions and stuff for the cards that you buy and the extra decks and the extra packs or whatever. If this is all you want out of this game, I think that you'll have a lot of fun with it. If it is your entry point into more, it doesn't have to be, but it works well with that. And you buy some more starter decks, and you can throw them in here, right? Because you don't need to keep that insert. So this kind of fits a lot of boxes. It checks a lot of boxes. It fits for a lot of people. The ones it won't fit for are the people who want to explore the depths of this game. Just go start with one of the more thorough, more in-depth sets. But if you are looking for an entry point, I highly recommend this one. That's why it gets an 8.5, a seal of excellence from us here at the Dice Tower. So thanks for coming out to this review, and especially thanks to some of you who have supported us through our GameFound, our crowdfunding efforts over the last year. So a shout out to a few of you here. We've got Zost Matthews, appreciate you. We got Anton Lindblick, and we've got Mark, Ina, and Yuna. And lastly, Filipa Gojkovic, the Chilean-German friend of the Dice Tower. Thank you all so much. Thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you, and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.